What's up, guys? It's your boy Drew, and today I'm going to give you a couple tips and a couple guides and hopefully make it a little bit easier for you to make a decision. Is Egypt safe? Is Egypt right for you? X, Y, and Z. Now, first and foremost, the biggest question I got asked before and after was, how did you travel during the pandemic? How did you do this? What was it like over there? Number one, you need to be up to speed on the guidelines of your own country before even considering going to another country. So do your own research, figure out what you needed to do. For me, I needed to present a negative PCR test to the officials when I got into country. So after I did that, I was on my way and I had, did my trip. Basically, there's a couple ways you can travel in Egypt. There's plenty of tour companies from the high end to mid-range and to low range. Those are a really good option if you've never been to the Middle East. It can make it a lot easier for you, and you probably be a little bit less stressed if you're kind of worried about it or you're scared. You can also solo travel. Now, my idea of solo traveling is completely different than what is now considered solo traveling. Now, I would only advise traveling solo, whether you're a man or a woman in Egypt, if you're well versed in traveling solo. In Asia, parts of the Middle East, Africa, you're good to go. I don't think there's too much that you haven't seen before that is going to completely sway you not to do it. Now, in Egypt, one of the biggest things I saw was, on YouTube is the videos of people being scammed or thinking they're being scammed or, presenting Egyptians in a light that is not correct at all. And that's kind of the reason why I made this video, was to expose some of these videos as complete and utter BS. You need to understand that what you're seeing and when people are talking about scammers is it's just the way it is. Like, if you're traveling, I don't care if you're in India, Cambodia, you could be all over the world, Turkey. It doesn't, you could be in Los Angeles and guys are going to try and hustle. We call it hustling where I come from. It's basically just salesmanship. Honestly, if you go into a shop in Egypt, in a marketplace, if somebody's like, hey bro, come into my shop, and if you just said no and walked away, you would never get scammed. It's that simple. If you feel uncomfortable, just say no thank you. La shukran gazilan. It's really simple. So, sorry, I speak shway Arabic. So I wouldn't even advise, if that is your biggest, if you're so scared, if you think that, I want to advise you, it's not that way at all. If you go into a market, most of the folks just want to show you their shop. Of course, they're trying to make sales. They're not trying to rip you off. Nobody's asking you for an obscene amount of money unless you're totally ignorant. I met a guy there that he was like, yeah, I got a pretty good deal on some papyrus. I'm like, what do you even know about papyrus, bro? This fool spent 1,000 USD on papyrus. So, there are people that are just going to be like, yeah, I'll pay it. But if you're like, hey, I want to go to the pyramids, you're going to go to the pyramids, guys are going to be wanting to sell you stuff. It's not scamming you. They have a product they're selling you. It's not scamming. Scamming is I'm selling you something that doesn't exist. That's being scammed. Me sitting on a camel and walking around the pyramid and a guy telling me it's X amount of money, and if I didn't make a deal with him before and I consider that being scammed, no, you're just a fool, bro. So if you want to ride a camel or take photographs of the pyramid, you want somebody to take photographs of you, agree upon a price, and then it's going to make it very simple. Now, if there's a dispute afterwards, then you can address it. It's not that hard to do. You can say no. So if you're going to get on a camel, say, and you're going to go cruise around the pyramid, there's a ton of guys there. You have carriage rides. And these guys are not scamming you. They're literally offering a service. So if you want to do it, agree on a price. If you don't, say no. Let's move on. Okay? Same with taxis. Now, taxis, if you get an Uber, be a little bit wary because they will go out of their way to rack up the bill. Now, the bill is going to be maybe $4 USD in Cairo for a 30-minute drive. It's super cheap. So if you want to argue with somebody or over $1 or 50 cents, you shouldn't be there anyway. is so ridiculous. So just keep an eye on your directions. If you're solo traveling, say you're a female, my best advice would be like, yo, always just have your GPS going and look at your destination and make sure he's on route. If you feel uncomfortable, if things, he's going a different way and you feel uncomfortable, maybe you don't speak Arabic, wait till there's a red light and get out of the car. Like, you don't need to stay there and go through it. So, and then get help. That way you can just be very, very smart in regards of carry yourself in a way where people are not going to scam you. Like, learn some Arabic phrases and words that will help you out a lot. Don't just show up in Egypt and think that, you can run around and, do certain things. It's not the case. If you haven't been to the Middle East or been in an Arab country before, or understand, the culture, you're going to need to know a couple key things. Number one is conservative dress. Now, obviously you see the Instagram posts, you see all the videos of people doing these beautiful pictures, and I totally get that. Make sure you're getting permission to take the photography first. You're going to want to dress conservative, even as a man. Like, you're not going to cruise around Cairo. You're going to go around in a mosque with a tank top and flip-flops and shorts on. Like, be a little bit more wary. Obviously, if you're even, when you go inside a mosque, I definitely, don't be showing up with your selfie stick out and being, it's called a prayer going on and you're in there and everybody's turning around looking at you like, bro, really? Like, don't be that guy. Just be a little bit more sensible. Learn a little bit about the culture and you'll find that respect goes so far. And I think number one is showing up, having a bit of a background in the culture is going to help you so much more. Just being respectful. No, sir. Yes, sir. These kind of things go really far in these countries. And Egypt is an amazing place. And I do think that every single person needs to go visit Egypt. It's an absolutely incredibly beautiful country. The history is everything you think it is and more. It's a place that when I went and I came back, I just had more questions. And I cannot wait to go back and visit it. It's a beautiful place. The food is so underrated. Food in Egypt is incredible. Street food is good. If you have a sensitive stomach, I'd maybe advise not eating street food. But, at the same time, it's like, you've got to. It's so good. There's super high-end restaurants. Zamalek is incredible. You would think you were in Manhattan. It's insane. So you have super high-end options. You have low-end options that are just equally as good. I mean, lunch for two people is maybe $10. And I mean, you are full. Like, even dinner. I mean, high-end, you can go real high-end, There's a lot of good places to visit. But I definitely want to just emphasize that Egypt is safe. It is safe. And if it's on your bucket list of places to go, don't listen to anybody that has not been there tell you not to go there. Like, do your research, due diligence, and go and have a good time. Yo, why are you buying Papyrus, bro? Are you a scribe? Who are you, dude? Why are you trying to get information and write down ancient papyrus? What's your deal, cuz? Boy Drew, just here, checking out the aliens. I don't know if you need more proof on me. I don't know if that looks human, it looks like a reptilian. So that's the vibe I'm getting.